got another great presentation coming up before the session break. Thanks for sticking around. And up next we have Hannah Freeland from the Women and Gender Studies program.
Women and Gender, I'll talk about it.
Okay, you talk about it. I'll sit down.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hannah Freeland, and I'm representing the Women and Gender Summer Fellowship Program. My project is focused on peer communication and sexual socialization. It's called I Won't Just Fall Into Place, Stereotypes and Scripts in Sexual Storytelling. And this project is a collaboration with my research mentor, Dr. Trinh. So to start off, I'd like to quickly review some of the previous research that has guided this project. We know that friends convey messages about what is normal or expected behavior, and this influence extends to sexual behavior. So through a process called socialization, we learn the norms of our culture, and this can happen through many different ways, from messages we receive from our parents or from the media, but we know that during adolescence and emerging adulthood, friends play a particularly influential role in shaping our beliefs about what's normal. So something that's considered sexually normative is the heterosexual script, which you may be familiar with. It's present a lot in media, and it prescribes specific roles to men and women for how they should behave in relationships and sexual encounters. So it stereotypes men as agentic and sexually assertive with this insatiable sex drive, where women are stereotyped as passive or submissive with a really relational orientation toward sex. The practical significance of this project mostly pertains to consent policies and sexual health education policies. In recent years on college campuses, consent policies have emphasized enthusiastic consent and yes means yes. And we think it's important to consider the way young people are being socialized to behave in sexual encounters. And while women are being taught to be passive and men are taught to be assertive, that doesn't always work with this enthusiastic consent and sexual equity standard. Also, research has shown that sex education programs that include material on the dynamics of gender and power are more effective at mitigating sexual risk. So to sum up, it's important to consider social context when designing these kind of policies. So our research question is, when friends talk about sex, how do sexual stereotypes shape their conversations and the way they make sense of their experiences? We addressed this question utilizing data consisting of audio-recorded conversations between two friends discussing one friend's most recent sexual experience. So some demographic data about our sample. Participants were recruited from the Psych 111 subject pool, so it was a younger sample. 79% women, 69% white, and 48% Greek affiliated, so members of fraternities and sororities. We thought that was important to include, as Greek organizations have historically emphasized traditional gender roles. We took a thematic analysis approach to working with this data, which is a method for identifying, analyzing, and reporting patterns within data. It's a form of qualitative analysis. And part of thematic analysis is developing codes to represent your data. We developed codes to represent the stereotypes within the heterosexual script, as well as off-script or counter-stereotypical behaviors. I'll be briefly going through how we define these codes and providing an example from our data. So stereotypical masculine was defined as anything related to men expressing having an insatiable sex drive, or always being ready for sex, or expressing hesitancy towards relationships or monogamy. An example is, guys are definitely more like horny and sexual, I think. I feel like guys need sex more. Stereotypical feminine represented anything related to women having a passive or submissive orientation towards sex, partner pleasing, putting the partner's pleasure above their own. This also included disembodiment and self-objectification. So in this example, from a conversation between two female participants, the first one says, the first 8 months we were dating, I'd close my eyes during sex, I'd be tense, I enjoyed it, I wanted to be there, but I wasn't comfortable enough to actually the friend fills in, let your body enjoy it, and she agrees, yeah. Our counter-stereotypical masculine code captured anything related to men expressing a need for emotional intimacy or connection, as well as hesitancy towards sex, and also nurturing behavior during or after encounters. In this example from our data, a male participant says, sex cures the soul, especially with the right person. It gets better the more you have it with that person. Our counter-stereotypical female code captured anything related to women initiating sex or being sexually assertive, or when women expressed hesitation towards relationships and monogamy. This example from a female participant, she says, I can have casual sex and like remove all emotions, and it's like cool and awesome. To share some preliminary results, here I have a graphic representation of the prevalence of stereotypical and counter-stereotypical messages about men and women. On the left are messages about men, and on the right are messages about women. As you can see, the stereotypical messages comprise the majority of messages for both men and women, but particularly for men, the stereotypical messages occurred much more often than counter-stereotypical messages. And we hypothesized that this might be because in recent decades, both in academia and popular culture, there's been an emphasis on women's sexual agency and pleasure and desire, so it's possible that it's more accepted for women to refute these traditional stereotypes. Continuing with results, I'm going to share some themes that we identified across our data set and provide examples of those themes. So the first theme is that participants often express an awareness of the heterosexual script, and when they go off script, those comments are accompanied by some hesitancy. So in this example from a female participant talking about an encounter with a male acquaintance, she says, yeah, but he was like, girls don't want to like hook up right after a breakup. And I was like, well, you know, like I kind of do, but that's okay. So you can see that the script is present here in the assumption that as a girl, she would have a relational or emotional attitude towards sex and therefore wouldn't want to hook up after a breakup. And then by saying, I kind of do, she's violating that stereotype. But she uses a lot of hedging, saying, you know, kind of, that's okay. So it's not really, it's a little hesitant the way she talks about it. And another example from a female participant talking to a friend about encounters with her boyfriend, she says, a lot of times I won't just like fall into place, quote unquote. Because like, you know, I'll be like, no thanks, I'd rather not, I'm not feeling like it. And he'll be like, and I'll be like, dude, and he'll be like, all right. So in this example, we see the script present and the assumption that women would be passive or partner pleasing or fall into place. And by saying, no thanks, I'd rather not, she's refuting this assumption of how she should behave. And again, you can see she's very apologetic about it. No thanks, I'd rather not, I'm not feeling like it. She later has to kind of double down, but there's still some kind of tiptoeing in the way she violates the script. So while this example is less directly in conflict with the script because she's playing this gatekeeping role against the instinctual male sex drive, you can still see that she believes that she's behaving in a way that is counter-stereotypical. Our second theme, friends mostly support stereotypical messages. So in this conversation between two friends, the first friend says, like, he was like in this mood, like he woke up with like morning wood ready to go, and the friend interjects enthusiastically, boys. And the first friend says, oh my God, I know. So as they're talking with each other, they're reinforcing that this is normal or to be expected from your male partner, possibly shaping expectations for future encounters about male partners. So our third theme, the heterosexual script is sometimes used as a substitute for communication within encounters. In this quote from a male participant, he says, I feel like some girls think that the norm is to let the guy just kind of do everything. This girl that I was getting with last year would just kind of always do nothing and just kind of sit there. And I think it was literally because she thought that boys are just supposed to do everything. So, so we don't have his partner's perspective on this encounter. Maybe she wasn't into it, maybe something else was going on, maybe his interpretation of her behavior was correct. It's definitely supported by this heterosexual script, saying women are passive and men need to be assertive. So for me, a major takeaway is that when we're talking to young people about sex, it's important to be aware that there's this script and these stereotypes that are easy to default to when we're interpreting behavior. And it's important to check in with partners because maybe those assumptions aren't always true. So, To wrap up with some limitations, most volunteer bias in friendship research. Most of our participants were female, which is consistent with friendship research historically. As we continue to collect data, we hope to have more male participants representing their own sexuality. Also, possible self-censoring due to being audio recorded. This did take place in the lab. This wasn't a natural setting, so that may have impacted what was shared. Future directions. Analysis of self-reported beliefs in relation to conversational data, and analysis of silence. We conducted post-conversational surveys where we asked participants, was there anything that you didn't say that you wanted to say? And also assess their personal beliefs about gender norms, their own sexual assertiveness, things like that. So we would like to look at that more privately collected data in relation to these conversations to see if it lines up or maybe doesn't line up. I would like to thank my research mentors, Dr. Trinh and Dr. Terry Conley, the Stigmatized Sexualities Lab, Adolescent Transitions Lab, my UROP mentors, Kia Schwert and Charlotte Hoppin, the entire Women and Gender Summer Fellowship Program, and thank you all for being here and supporting undergraduate research. Questions if you have any questions. Yeah?
Was it difficult for you to recruit your participants in the study without trying to coax them, or did they willingly want to participate?
That is a good question. So this was previously recorded data from a research mentor and other research assistants, but these were students from the Psych 111 subject pool, and if they were in Psych 111, they received extra credit for participating in the study. And if their friend wasn't in the class, they received a $15 gift card. But most people were in the class, so you saved a lot of money. Yes?
All right, so my question is, have you considered carrying out this survey on a wider demographic? Like, for example, I am from Nigeria. There are a lot of differences in sexual beliefs. And if you plan to do that, what do you think the outcome of your results will be?
Yeah, so I know there is this kind of research going on in a lot of different countries. In Stereotypes Sexualities Lab, we have a researcher from Germany. In my literature review process, I looked at some other European sample studies. I'm not really sure about that. It would be interesting to look at. I know that these stereotypes are prevalent throughout the West and to a certain extent in other parts of the world. So that's definitely an interesting question.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Nigerians are stereotypes. I'm just saying, why are you doing it?
Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
What do you think would be different if more men were in the study?
Yeah, I think it would be interesting. So, do you remember when I showed that graph about messages about men and women? We did not parse out who the speaker was because the justification was both boys and girls are exposed to the same cultural messaging growing up. But I would be interested if, with more male participants, we would get more messages about emotions or relationships, because our female participants have these ideas about men and maybe less closeness to men's actual experience than a man representing some. So I think it would change the data, and that would be really interesting. Yeah?
You say what the age of the participants was?
Yeah, so the mean age was 19.33.
College. I'm just wondering if those attitudes change over time.
Yeah.
My guess is that they come men and women towards the center.
I think that is a reasonable guess. One thing that was interesting here was when women shared that they didn't really like to do anything, or they like to kind of take the passive role, they were like, I don't know what I'm doing. So women have this pass to do less during encounters because they're women, when probably men and women both don't really know what they're doing at this stage.
Awesome.
Any other questions before we wrap up? No?
Cool. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Sorry. thank you all for joining. Thank you all for joining us out here. There's like a 12-minute break now until the next session, so go ahead and run to the bathroom, eat some food, whatever you need to do. Thank you.